Brie Fire. Brie Fire was released in 2016 and is directed by Ben Wheatley and stars Armie Hammer, Cillian Murphy, Brie Larson, Noah Taylor, and many other people. And basically, the film tells the story of this large group of people who go to this warehouse in Boston. And half of this large group of people have gone to this warehouse to go and sell guns, and the other half of this large group of people have gone to this warehouse to go and buy guns. But then basically, long story short, they all start firing guns at each other. And then as the film progresses, you also find out that some of the characters that you initially didn't really think much of actually have an ulterior motive. And that's basically the plot of the film. Honestly, I don't really feel I've missed anything out at all. And I must admit, I find this film hugely disappointing. Because I heard a lot of good things about it before I actually went to go and buy this film. Actually, I bought this film on DVD to watch. And the thing is though, I couldn't help but feel hugely disappointed by it. Like, I heard a lot of good things about it. I heard that it was really enjoyable. One of those films you could just sit back and just enjoy and really get yourself into. Unfortunately though, it wasn't for me. I think the film has two big problems. Two big problems. But before I get into my big problems with this film, I will say the film does have a few things going for it. For example, I think the film is well made. I think it's well edited, I think it's well directed, and at the same time though, I do think Ben really did a superb job making this film. And at the same time though, I think the actors on screen are having a lot of fun. Cillian Murphy's clearly having a lot of fun, so with Brie Larson in the film. And, you know, everyone's clearly having a lot of fun on screen. And at the same time though, I do think the film has a really good score, really good electronic score by Jeff Bauer and Ben Salisbury, which works really well in the film. At the same time though, I think the film does have a good use of Annie's song by John Denver in the film, which works really well. But unfortunately though, that is where my praise of this film ends. I think this film has two big problems, and those two big problems are this. First of all, everyone starts shooting each other way too quickly. And second of all, you don't know who's who in this film. And I think those are my two big problems with the film. Like, the film is quite Tarantino-esque. And I actually think this film takes a lot of, you know, Tarantino films like Reservoir Dogs and The Hateful Eight. And even so, I'm not the biggest fan of The Hateful Eight, I think those two films are much more superior to this film. Because the thing about those two films is you know who's shooting each other before they all start shooting each other. And I think that's what makes those films work so well. There's even like this whole bit in Reservoir Dogs where I'm pretty sure where the camera actually cuts to each and every character so you get to know them. Like, that's Mr. Pink, that's Mr. Brown. And then as the film progresses, you learn, okay, actually I want him to survive, maybe I don't want him to survive. Actually, I kind of like him in the film. And that's what makes Reservoir Dogs work so well. Because when everyone does start shooting each other in that film, you know who's shooting each other, and you kind of feel that emotional connection to those characters. And that's even the same with Hateful Eight. Like, even so I do think the Hateful Eight is a very overlong film, you know, by the time everyone starts shooting each other in that film, you know who's who, and that's what makes the Hateful Eight, you know, work to a degree in that film. I don't hate the Hateful Eight, but I don't love it. But anyway, basically, that's why I think those two films over-triumphed this film. The thing is with Free Fire is you never know who's shooting who by the time they're all shooting each other. And they're shooting each other way too quickly. Like, honestly, there isn't really an introduction to these characters at all. You learn like two characters have a bit of a past with each other, two characters from, you know, two different groups in the film, and they have a bit of a past with each other. Apart from that, there isn't really any characterization of any of the characters in the film. Literally, the only way you can determine the character in the film is like, okay, that's Cillian Murphy, that's Armie Hammer with a beard, that's Brie Larson, that's Noah Taylor, that guy's got a nice suit, that guy's got long hair. I mean, it's just things like that. It doesn't work that, because you want to know who's who. You want to have that, okay, that's actually a character that I really like. I really like that thing about it, and I did it earlier in the film. But unfortunately, no, because the film just jumps into everyone shooting guns at each other way too quickly, I didn't have any emotional allegiance with these characters. By the time they all start shooting each other, I was like, I don't know who you are. You're doing something that, who the hell are you? Oh, that's Cillian Murphy. Oh, that's Brie Larson. Oh, what is this? It just, I wanted to feel more invested in the story, and I think the fact that I didn't know who was who in the film when they were all shooting each other lost my investment in the story quite quickly, because the film never really grabbed my attention to start off with, I must admit. I was watching the first act of the film thinking, okay, nothing really that interesting happening. Oh, something kind of interesting happening. Oh no, wait, that's not that interesting anymore. And I think that was the biggest problem with it, because it never really got me invested there. And then by the time, you know, everyone was, you know, shooting each other, I was like, I'm really not invested in the film anymore. I never felt invested in the film. I think that's a big problem as well with the film, because, you know, I was just watching the film thinking, I'm not invested in the film. I feel like I'm watching a film. I don't feel like I'm there with these characters. I never really felt that invested in the film. Even in the first act, which is arguably the best act of the film, because actually there's some characterization going on there. Not much, but there's something going on there. Even then, I didn't really feel that interested in what was going on. And those are all kind of my big problems with the film. Like, everyone starts shooting each other way too quickly, and you don't know who's who. The only way you know who's who is like, that's Cillian Murphy, that's Armie Hammer, that's Brie Larson, I don't care who that, he's wearing a suit, that's a guy with long hair. It's just, why? I wanted more characterization with these characters. I wanted to know, okay, that's, you know, such and such a body from earlier in the film. Okay, that guy, I saw him doing something really nice earlier in the film. I kind of have a bit of a liking to him. Oh, I don't like him though, he was doing something bad earlier in the film. But I never felt that, because there wasn't anything like that for me to really get myself into the film with any of the characters. Apart from the fact that's Cillian Murphy and that's Armie Hammer and that's Brie Larson. I mean, that's because they're famous actors, you know. That's it. That was my only way of determining who was shooting each other. The thing is though, that isn't just a problem with somebody who doesn't like the film. I was actually watching this film with two people who were really, really enjoying it. And I was really happy with them, because they were obviously finding a lot more enjoyment in this film than I had. But the thing is, with the people that are enjoying it, I even got to one stage, but one of the people I was watching it with actually says to me, you know, who's she actually shooting at now? Somebody who's actually really enjoying it didn't know who was shooting at who. That's a problem in my opinion. And honestly, I wish I liked this so much more than I did, because I really sat down to watch this one thinking, oh, it's going to be really enjoyable. This is just be like a fun film that I just kind of took my mind off things at the moment, and then honestly it didn't. I just sat back at the film thinking, why don't I like this more than I do? I really wanted to like it, but honestly I don't, and I do think the film has some things going for it. I just wish I cared about what was going on in this film. I wish I cared about the characters. I wish I knew who was shooting at who, and I didn't, and I think that's my biggest problem with this film. It's not terrible by any means, but I just found it hugely disappointing, and I wanted to like it so much more than I do. Honestly, I can't help but feel really disappointed about this film. I really do. And so for that reason, I'm going to say that Free Fire, I'm going to say it's about a 4 out of 10. I mean, you might watch this film and you might really enjoy it. Like I said, I watched the film with two other people. They really enjoyed it. I'm really happy that they enjoyed it. And if you enjoy this film, that's absolutely fantastic. I'm really happy for you. Unfortunately though, I didn't, and I just watched the film and never really felt invested in what was going on. Even the interesting part of the film, which is the first act of the film, I never really felt invested then. I wish I liked this film more than I did, because I really wanted to. But the characters weren't interesting. Everyone started shooting each other way too quickly. It was Tarantino-esque, but not to the degree that I wanted it to be. Like, the whole thing to do with Reservoir Dogs, which makes that film interesting when everyone starts shooting each other, because you already know the characters, you already know, actually I like him, don't really like him, but I like him, and you already know who's who by the time everyone starts shooting each other in that film. And that's what makes Reservoir Dogs, a Quentin Tarantino film, work so well. Unfortunately though, I can't do the same about Free Fire. I don't know who's shooting at who, I never found investment in the characters, I never found investment in the story, and I never really got into it. I think that's my biggest problem. I just never got into it. So for that reason, and I hate to say it, I really do, because I really wanted to like this film, but honestly, I just think Free Fire is a 4 out of 10 from me. Anyway guys, what do you think of Free Fire? Do you hate it, or have you just not watched it? If not, why not? Please do comment down below, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Anyway guys, thank you as always for watching. If you haven't yet, please do click down below and like and subscribe on this video, and look forward to many more, both film and TV, coming very soon on this channel. See you guys again soon, bye for now, bye!